Next session is your engagement strategy future-proof by design. We will find out how motivation can help achieve a never-give-up attitude, which in turn helps organizations achieve their business goals. A special thank you to our title and session partner, Advantage Club. And for this, I'd like to welcome Smiti Bhatt Deorah, co-founder, Chief Operating Officer, Advantage Club Technologies, Inc. Her company disrupts the employee benefits industry by creating a global platform for recognition and employee engagement using data mining and analytics. Please welcome Smiti on stage, everyone.
Is this working? Yeah, okay. Thank you, Liane. And hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today. It's going to be hard to follow on Marshall's talk. It was amazing, but I'll try to do my best. My name is Smiti. I'm one of the founders of Advantage Club, which is an employee engagement platform. We primarily drive engagement modules like rewards and recognition, communities, overall driving more experiences for employees. And today, I'm going to talk about, is your engagement strategy future-proof by design? Can we have the slides, please? All right. So what we're going to talk about today primarily is how we can enable our employees to be more engaged and more motivated in the organizations we have. I saw this study by Gartner, which was done in 2022, and interestingly it said that only 21% of the workforce globally is engaged today. And if you're looking at the MENA region, that number drops down to a crazy 15%, which means that there is a lot of work to be done in this domain in spite of what we have been doing over the past few years. And this is the number for 2022 itself. I'm sure there's a lot of scope of improvement in the coming years, and there are various ways in which we can figure out strategies to make that happen. According to Gallup's 2022 State of the Workplace report, over 50% of people will continue working from home or work in a hybrid setup, which means engaging them is going to become harder and harder going ahead over time. So let's first talk about what's happening today in the market. What is the now of employee engagement? And then we're going to talk about how things will change in the future. Today, engagement is approached in different ways by organizations. Firstly, what we have seen post the pandemic is a very interesting thing. We have a globally dispersed workforce. I can live in Dubai. I can work for a company in Saudi. I might have colleagues in the US. I might have clients in Europe. The whole world has just closed down. It's become a shorter place. But at the same time, it has also increased a lot of opportunities for employees to hop in and hop off from jobs, which is also given the advent of digital workplaces where I can sit from home, I can work from home, I can work from office, I can work from the moon if I want to. There is no limitation to where I can work from. What has also changed in the past couple of years is the advent of the Gen Z or the millennial population. Millennials don't want an authoritative work style. They want an autonomy in terms of their working today. They want more accountability. They want more ownership. They don't want their work to be measured by the number of hours, but by the quality of actually what they are achieving. Attrition rates naturally have also skyrocketed because now I can get a job all across the world. Earlier, all of the good talent pool in Dubai, for example, was kind of being targeted by all the companies in Dubai. Now that talent pool is being targeted by all companies across every country. So naturally, employees have more options, and that is why attrition rates have also increased really, really high. Appreciation has also picked up in the past few years post-pandemic, in which companies have started focusing on more recognition, more peer appreciation, more rewards, and different ways of recognizing their employees. Gone are the days when we used to wait for like an annual appraisal at the end of the year. Employees today want instant recognition for everything, and peer-to-peer appreciation, manager-to-employee recognition, all of these trends have become really, really important today. Another thing which has changed today is blanket benefits have been replaced by customized benefits. I don't want a standard gym membership anymore. I mean, I don't even go to the gym like you could imagine. I would prefer something like, say, a meditation or a yoga because I have a really stressful role. So people don't want those blanket benefits anymore. They want custom benefits which suit them, and organizations have started looking forward to solutions where they can give a kind of a combined option platform, a gift of choice to their employees to pick and choose their benefits instead of picking one standard blanket benefit given to everybody. And of course, the biggest debate of probably the decade is moonlighting today. What has also happened post-pandemic is now I'm working from home. I'm not working in my office for 10 hours every day. I have 4 hours extra. I'm done with my work. I might as well pick up another project. Moonlighting has also become a really heated debate in today's scenario where employers are saying that you're committed to my company. Why are you going and doing 2 other jobs? Whereas employees are saying, what's the problem? If I'm getting my work done, then why do you care what I do after office hours? It's going to be interesting how gig economy and moonlighting shapes up the future. So what can we expect coming ahead in the future in employee engagement? Of course, technology has advanced so fast in the past few years, it's going to continue evolving. Technological advancement will continue happening. Tools are going to completely replace processes going ahead. The world has become so digital and so distributed that it is impossible to run any initiative without technology. Another thing which we've seen post-COVID is we have learned that life is really unpredictable. When 2020 happened, most organizations were expected to just flip to a work-from-home scenario overnight. And this was not the last wave, and neither will more waves not stop coming up. There will be more COVID variants, there will be more waves, there might be more diseases. You don't know, but what has changed in the past 2 years is companies have become, they expect that something could happen in the future. So they actually put resilience in their strategy now. And that is going to be a key pointer while devising your strategies for the future. Regular workforce mechanisms are going to also be replaced by an agile workforce. All of your quarterly sprints and 6-month sprints are going to be replaced by monthly, weekly, bi-weekly sprints. Today's millennia, since they want instant recognition, they also want instant ways of identifying, meeting more closely together. You're not in an office setup anymore, so you need more frequent connects within the team, and agility in terms of the workforce is going to be really important. Non-monetary benefits is also picking up, and I see that to gain momentum in the future. Now, a monetary benefit can easily be matched by another company, but a non-monetary benefit adds to an emotionally invested employee. Like, for example, would I prefer, as an employee, getting a 1,000 dirham Amazon gift card, or would I prefer a coffee with one of my leaders? I might go for the coffee. So money is something which is easily replaceable, but non-monetary benefits are going to continue picking up in the future. What we've also seen in the past is engagement's been very transactional. I go to work, I do my job, I come back, I get paid. But today's millennia wants a little more. They want mental engagement. They want to feel connected with the organization. They don't want to be in a scenario in which they're just going to work and coming back, and that's how it works. So mental engagement and emotional quotient of an employee is going to be really important. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in my next slide. So what are the challenges which we would be facing if we're actually looking at the future of employee engagement? 29% of HR leaders believe that they have 3 primary top challenges. One is technology, one is strategy, and one is structure. And every time I speak to clients, I get these questions over and over again. What kind of technology should I use? How should I devise my rewards or my engagement strategy? How do I implement it? How do I structurize it? There's also a 4th point to it, which I just spoke about, which is emotional quotient, because today's generation is a little different. They want to be also emotionally invested in the organization. And to be honest, technology, strategy, and structure, it's easy to build that. Emotional quotient is probably one of the hardest things because every employee thinks differently. Every employee has different requirements in their life. We always talk about diversity, equity, inclusion, the DEIs. We need to add a B on top of that, which is belongingness. The moment you convert your DEI strategy to a DEIB strategy, it completely changes the whole ideology of how employees and your culture evolve in your company. We say we're doing artificial intelligence, we're doing machine learning, technology is moving fast. Employees are moving faster, they are evolving faster. Technology is not going to be able to cope up beyond a certain level. We will need the human touch, we will need people to be deployed in our engagement initiatives to use technology as a tool and utilize it to move further ahead. So how can we become future ready? I mean, we've spoken a lot about what are the challenges and what we can do, what was there, what was then, and what is now. The first thing which we need to do is we need to thrive in future by design. We need to acknowledge that hybrid is the future now. All our strategies need to be around that. We need to also utilize technology to drive strategic innovation. We need to identify different ways in which using technology we can get different forms of processes created. We can take feedbacks from employees and devise different innovation mechanisms by taking their inputs as well. We need to also focus on the big picture. I mean, most organizations only care about numbers. If my numbers are going on well, everything's okay. We need to go from a number-driven strategy to a purpose-driven strategy. Why am I running a program? Is it because my competitor is running it, or is it because it actually aligns with my core values? It aligns with what I want to do and achieve as an employer. We need to also lead the future by design. Firstly, we need to understand that work needs to stop getting measured by number of volumes and start getting measured by quality. We need to transform the way we work. We need to create an emotionally intelligent workforce. We need to create more focus on well-being. If your employees are mentally unwell, they're not going to be able to deliver. If they don't deliver, your productivity goes high, and that impacts your business bottom lines. You need to focus on flexibility for today's Gen Z. You need to build an adaptive culture because employees are evolving fast, so your culture needs to evolve along with that. Otherwise, we're going to start seeing that great resignation come back again. Every day comes with a new challenge, so it's also important for us to upskill our employees. We need to invest in learning and development. We need to invest in reskilling and overall upgrade the skill set of our employee base. And lastly, and this is my favorite, we need to stop measuring attrition. We need to start measuring happiness. Marshall just mentioned, I mean, what did I do to maybe keep myself happy? As leaders, we also need to think, what did I do to keep my organization happy? All of these new trends have come in. Chief People Officer has been replaced by Chief Happiness Officer as a position. Just think about that word, when you change the word from people to happiness, how you actually change the mentality of that entire role. As a Chief People Officer, my job is to manage my people. But as a Chief Happiness Officer, it's my role to keep people happy. If you're able to focus on the happiness of employees, productivity, retention, all of that will just follow. We also need to figure out how do we engage employees using this community of wonderful people we have created. If you have an organization with 1,000 people, hypothetically speaking, if you think of it, there are 1,000 people working towards a common goal. How powerful is that? 1,000 people in one company have the same objective in their life. Building and leveraging the power of that community is what really helps drive higher engagement. Why are people more engaged when they're in office and less engaged when they're working from home? Is it because they're in office? No. If you're going to office and you're the only person in the entire building, you're not going to get engaged. It's not for the free coffee or tea. You get engaged in office because you are surrounded by 50 people. You're interacting with them. You're leveraging the power of community. So leveraging that power of community is extremely important. What we do at Advantage Club is we devise mechanisms like hobby clubs. We use peer-to-peer marketplaces. We create gaming modules and incentivization and gamification. How does that help? If you can identify common things between employees and let them connect with each other using technology, you don't need to bring employees to office. You're bringing the office to your employees at their homes. So leveraging the power of community becomes extremely important here. Lastly, you need to also recognize, I cannot even emphasize how important it is. Recognize how much you can. Recognize from the day an employee joins to the day an employee exits the organization. We do recognitions and promotions, do recognitions when they complete anniversaries, birthdays, whatever are the small moments their entire work life cycle is consisting of. Recognize them on every small achievements. Does not need to be monetary, could be small budgets, could be zero budgets, could be a badge, could be anything. But the more you can, it'll just create a culture in which people are just saying nice things to each other. That positivity is infectious. Lastly, there are 5 key attributes I feel which are important to become future ready. As an organization, the first is intentional. We need to invest, we need to ensure that we are best in drive. We have the highest drive to perform and to move the organization forward. Situational, where we need to ensure that we're best in problem solving. Motivational, where we need to ensure that we're able to motivate our employees to increase productivity beyond anything. Cultural, where everything we do is connected with your core values. Why are you doing an initiative needs to be crystal clear in every initiative. Employees need to know what kind of behavior do they need to actually demonstrate to get something. It needs to be linked to your core values. And lastly, aspirational. As an organization, we need to aspire to be best in class. As employees, the more we aspire, the better we grow. We stop getting distracted by these different job interviews coming left, right, and center, and then reward them, give them the opportunities to grow in the organization as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it on my end. Thank you so much for listening to me. And we have a booth out here at Advantage Club. If you have any questions around engagement strategies, how to build communities, how to devise recognition, we're all here. It's free of cost, pro bono. We'll not charge you anything for the advice. Even if you don't sign up with us, we'd love to chat. So please do come over and we'd love to meet most of you. Thank you.